Erev Shabbat Shalom Rabotai. We are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Yevamot. We are up to Perik Yud Gimel Mishnah Bet. Today's Mishnah should be Le'ilun Nishmat Neria ben Svetlana Ranbai Eliyahu ben Burcha Yisrael ben Chana bad Miriam Menuchatam began Eden Amen Elavdi ben Chaim for the Refuah Shelema of Daniel Shom ben Rosa and Mariana Miriam Chaya bat Tamara betoch Shachulei Israel. This Mishnah discusses when the rabbis consider a marriage arranged for an orphan girl by her relatives to be valid. Who is the underage orphan girl whose marriage the rabbis recognize and who therefore has to make miyun to her husband before she can marry someone else? Any orphan girl who is married off by her mother or her adult brothers with her consent. The young girl must understand what it means to be married. She must understand that she is now getting married and she must agree to the marriage taking place. However, if they married her off without her consent and not she does not need to make miyun to her husband because the rabbis do not recognize her marriage in the first place. The Mishnah discusses the level of maturity an orphan girl must have before the rabbis will recognize her marriage. Rabbi Hanina ben Antigno says, any young girl who is so mature that she cannot safeguard what she received for her marriage, the money, ring, or document given to her by her husband to marry her, and not tzicha man does not have to make mi'un to her husband because her marriage is not considered valid. A child has to be mature enough to understand that there is special value to the item that she received for her marriage and to safeguard it accordingly. When a girl is less than 6 years old, we assume she is not mature enough to safeguard this item. If her relatives marry her off at such a young age, her marriage is not recognized and she does not have to make mi'un before marrying someone else. A girl over the age of 10 is assumed to have this level of maturity. Her marriage is recognized. The maturity and understanding of a girl between the ages of 6 and 10 must be evaluated before it can be decided whether or not she is mature enough for her marriage to be recognized, as the Rav explains. The Mishnah discusses the legal effects of the marriage of an orphan girl. Rabbi Eliezer says, "En ma'aseh ketana klum." The act of an underage girl is nothing, meaning her marriage is not truly considered a full-fledged marriage, and it does not place on her all of the laws that usually come with marriage. Ela chimfuta, rather she is seen by law as a girl that has been seduced and is living with a man outside of marriage. Rabbi Eliezer certainly agrees that the rabbis instituted marriage for an orphan girl and that miyun is required to undo her marriage. However, Rabbi Eliezer says that this rabbinic marriage is limited in its scope. It does not bring with it all of the rights and obligations of a full marriage. Therefore, if she is a daughter of a Israel and non-Kohen and has been married by her relatives to a Kohen, she may not eat Truma, even though a Kohen's wife may eat Truma. Similarly, if she is a daughter of a Kohen and she has been married by her relatives to Israel, she may eat Truma, even though Israel's wife may not eat Truma. As we have learned before in chapter 7, Mishnah 2, the daughter of Israel who marries a Kohen may eat Truma. Here, however, because her marriage is not really a marriage, she may not. Similarly, when a Kohen's daughter marries a Israel, she loses the right to eat Truma. Here, however, she keeps that right because her marriage is not a real marriage. This is the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer. Others disagree and hold that the rabbinic marriage of an orphan girl is not limited in scope. The rabbis treat her as if she has a full marriage. According to this opinion, if the daughter of a Kohen marries a Israel, she may not eat Truma, while if the daughter of a Israel marries a Kohen, she may eat Truma. She'll be able to eat foods that are Truma only on a rabbinic level. She may not eat something that is Truma on a biblical level because she is not biblically married. The Rav does tell us that the halakha does not follow Rabbi Eliezer, and the halakha does follow Rabbi Hanina ben Antignos. We continue now with Mishnah Gimel. When an orphan girl wants to leave the marriage arranged for her by her relative, she makes mi'un. If her husband wants to end the marriage, he must divorce her. This Mishnah and the next discuss legal differences between the marriage of an orphan girl ended by her through mi'un and one that is ended by the husband through a divorce. The meaning of the rules given by this Mishnah will be explained in the Mishnah that follows. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov says, Kol akava shi min ha'ish. Anytime the orphan stays in the marriage on account of the man, meaning she is not the one who ends the marriage with miyun, rather he is the one who ends it by divorcing her. Ki'ilu hi ishtod, then we treat the failed marriage as if she had been his legal wife up until the time he divorced her. V'chol hakava she'ena min ha'ish. However, anytime her stay in the marriage was not on account of him because she ended the marriage with miyun, ki'ilu ena ishto, it is as if she was never legally his wife, as the next Mishnah will explain. Now, the option of simply refusing to continue the marriage was given by the rabbis only to the underage girl, not to the man whom she married. Therefore, whenever she was content to stay in the marriage and he was the one who ended it, the marriage is treated like any other marriage that ends in divorce. However, where she is the one who refused to continue the marriage by exercising her right to make mi'un, then we view the marriage as if it had never taken place, and the restrictions that apply to a divorced woman therefore do not apply to her, as the next Mishnah will teach. That is in Rabotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen v'amen.